What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over and talking about our top 5 budget cards right now in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. Now, this is such a weird video to make right now because there are so many unsellable cards in the game. What I will say is, if you have any good, cheap unsellables, I'd run them. And for example, if you've grinded the base challenges, the Welcome to My Team challenges, you probably got some of, the rubies, whether it's Kawhi, whether it is, Jaylen Brown, whether it is Jalen Brunson, whoever those rubies are. Maybe you even have some of those Ammies. Those are definitely cards that I would recommend running. I really wanted to do a top 10 budget list, but again, it's just so hard because all of these gems of the game are so rare, and then a lot of them are unsellable too. So it's just really hard to make this type of a video with where we are at in my team right now. But hopefully this video does help you guys out. And if you guys have any gems that you guys have been running as far as budget cards, let me know who they are down below in the comments to hopefully help me out, hopefully help others out, and hopefully help the community have a lot of success. Now, again, what I do a lot of times is I just go scroll through, and even like a PJ Tucker for 4,200, he actually looks like a really solid card. Just go through them, look at some of these gems of the game, see if you can't find one that could possibly help your squad out. Right at that 4-hour mark is probably where you're gonna find some of your best overall gems of the game. Again, they are really rare, so you'll probably not find a ton of them, but just something to think about. We're gonna plug in a lot of the Series 1 cards because I know a lot of you guys have them, and I do want to talk about them. The first one I want to plug in is one of the best movement cards in the game right now. That is Ruby Kyrie Irving. Now, price-wise, again, super cheap. Again, for his value, I really don't mind the card at all. 3,000 coins. Kyrie, good movement, 6'2", decent 3-ball. The thing I like most, I think, about Kyrie Irving is his release. Again, good movement, bronze, limitless, but his release is really easy to time and really easy to green. And right now, in my team, or in 2K, I should say, a lot of people are struggling with releases, including, I've struggled a little bit throughout the start of this game, finding a consistent jump shot. Now, Kyrie Irving was a guy like last year. I think it was last year where the Diamond Kyrie Irving was in the game. He was so good early on. This card has 18 base badges. Pretty solid early on for a point guard. And again, a lot of the other point guards, or you think would be point guards, aren't point guards. Cade Cunningham, LaMelo Ball. Those guys do not have point guard eligibility. So finding a point guard that you like, that you can have success with, is really important. Kyrie Irving coming in at my number 5 as far as budget cards. Coming in at my number 4 is a guy that I thought would be better this year, but he is still really good. That is Ruby Kawhi Leonard. Now again, as far as like the Ammies, I'm not going to plug in AD, Giannis, they're like 30K. All the rest of the Ammies are pretty expensive. Kawhi Leonard, a card that honestly is relatively cheap, like 3,000 coins, but a card that can compete at a high level. Now, I do again wish his stats badges were a little bit better. I feel like normally early on, Kawhi's card is really good. 6'7", good player build, 77 3-ball, 86 perimeter defense. I wish the speed was a little bit better. Only 9 total badges here, though. And I think that's the big thing for me when I'm looking at Kawhi is I just wish he had more total badges. Does have on-ball menace, which is a super important and valuable badge. When I have used Kawhi Leonard, defensively, he's been one of the best cards that I have used in the game. Problem for me with Kawhi Leonard is this. I don't know where to play him. I like James Posey. He's obviously unsellable. Not going to make this list. He's too good, too expensive. I really like this pre-order Jason Tatum. If you have him, I definitely would run him. And so that's the tough part with a guy like Ruby Kawhi is obviously eventually he will be replaced, but for now, a great 3-and-D option. Next guy I do want to plug in is a guy that I think has such a smooth jump shot, such a smooth release, and I think is undervalued. That is Paolo Banchero. Now, part of the reason he is undervalued is there are a lot of good power forwards in the game, especially when you get to the Ammy tier. There's like LeBron, you got Giannis, you just got a lot of those next level guys that are really good. But Banchero for like 3,000 coins, super good. 6'10", good player build, 75 3-ball. Defensively isn't great. But to me, he's got a decent player build. He's going to knock down threes on the offensive end of the court. And again, for 2,000 coins, it is a really, really good value. And these are, in my opinion, the budget cards right now. MT right now is so hard to come by. So if a card's like 10,000 MT, I'm not going to really talk about them in this video. And the cheapest amethyst in the entire game right now is like 15,000 coins. So that is, in my opinion, why it is so important to talk about these budget rubies that can compete with the LeBrons, compete with the Giannis's of the world. Are they going to be as good? Probably not. But like I said, I used Ruby Paolo Banchero in a PL tournament. I didn't use him last night, but a couple of days ago. And this card was extremely good for me. Knocking down shots, playing decent enough defense to at least hold it down. I don't mind Paolo Banchero at all. Definitely held it down for me. Coming in as my second best budget card right now in the entire game, we're plugging in PG-13. Card who I just think does a little bit more for you on the court than Kawhi Leonard. Now, PG's price might, reflect how good he is. 4,000 coins for that. PG is that a snipe? We'll have to see. Not really. But I do like this card. I think overall, when you're looking at PG-13, he is a card with a higher three. I'm actually going to snipe him and put him back up for 49. He's a card with a high enough three ball. Badge-wise is fantastic. And that's what I really like focusing on this early on is who has decent enough badges. Paul George has 19 base badges, a lot of them on silver, 77 three ball, really solid defensively. You could see silver, off-ball pest, interceptor, ankle assassin, strong handle, bronze, a lot of those badges as well. And that's the thing for me is when you're comparing Paul George to Kawhi, I think Paul George wins out strictly because of his badges. His badge count is better. His overall badges are better. And that is tough to beat this early on. Do wish Paul George maybe had a little slightly higher three ball. But outside of that, there's no real downsides to PG-13. A card that you can use and that is going to compete at a really high level for you guys. I've used PG quite a bit so far this year. You guys can see him and Kawhi are still in my lineup. And I have liked the card. He's just not better than James Posey or Jason Tatum. Last but certainly not least, you'll hear me a lot of times talk, well, Ty, you need a center that can compete. And I'm going to throw this card in here because I think he can compete at a decent level. That is Victor Wembanyama. Is he the best center in the game right now? No. And it's kind of weird because I feel like normally like Wemby cards, even the gold Wemby last year was really good for a certain amount of time. Wemby is still good, can shoot it a little bit, decent, an interior 85, 89 block as well. The problem is that 25 speed. Now, I will say this about Victor Wembanyama. You want a card that can help you in like triple threat, help you in domination. Wemby can because he's got a decent enough block. He's got a decent enough defensive rebound. He's got decent enough interior. He can help you win in those types of modes. The thing for me about Wemby is he's just too slow. That 25 speed is just really, really tough to run. But right now, if you're talking about budget centers, give me Wemby over a lot of the other budget centers we got. Like, I know some people want to hype up Sapphire Bam. Some people want to hype up some other cards. To me, when you're talking about budget options, I think when you're looking at centers, Wemby is as good, if not better, than any other budget center we have in the game right now. That's my personal opinion on it. You guys can let me know if you disagree on that, but that's where I'm at with these cards. I think Wemby is that good in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. Now again, these are just my initial opinions. Obviously, as time goes on, we'll be able to spend more and more MT on some of these cards and really be able to update the squad. I just think the budget cards right now are so tough to come by. Now, when it comes down to upgrading your squad, some cards I really do like. I love Diamond Cliff Robinson whenever you can get enough coins for him. Chauncey Billups has been really good for me as well. So again, when you do find a way to get that many coins, those are some other cards that I do recommend. But right now, I do think it's kind of smart to ball on a budget and really try as much as possible to save as much MT as you can. Even at the AMI tier, I like KD, I like LeBron, AD, Giannis, but those cards are pretty expensive. And again, probably not worth it this early on in the game. That's going to wrap it up for my top budget cards in the game. You guys can see my squad right now. Most of it's unsellable. If you have Michael Adams, run him. If you have Vince Carter, run him. If you have T-Mac, run him. Any of these unsellable cards you get, even from the new grind, run them. And so, like, yes, this video hopefully can help you fill the gaps, but most of your squad right now should be free from the challenges, from the welcome to my team, from these hidden gems cards. That's really what I would look at if I were you guys. That's going to wrap it up. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.